Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, and welcome to Environmental Podcasts. We are your hosts. We are the founders of Dandelion Branding. My name is Courtney, and this is Aub.
Hi, this is our podcast about the transition to a more sustainable future. We've been interviewing people about their role in the world, making it a safer, more sustainable place to live. And since it's the first of the year, the first podcast of the year, we decided to interview each other. We'll talk to each other.
Yes. Because we've never done this. We changed the format of our podcast to really focus in on how people were kind of positioning themselves and their businesses in the sustainable transition. And we've never said out loud our own thoughts about that in our business. So
yeah, or really shared what we do. And our main focus in the world as a business is to communicate and help other people communicate their sustainability in the world. Because we find that folks that are actively working on changing the world are focused on that. They're not focused on communicating about it. They're not focused on marketing, and they shouldn't be. They should be focused on the change that they're making and the technologies that they're building and the farms that they're saving or the soil that they're healing, you know?
Yeah. Everybody has their own unique expertise and should be focused in that. And that's like the beauty of the work that we do, is because we get to work with all of those types of folks.
Yeah.
In just helping them to better communicate, because that is not necessarily perhaps one of their strong suits, but it's something that we love to do. So
yeah,
we think it's
something we've been doing for almost a decade together. Like 2024, we have been working together for a decade, and we've been with Dandelion for 5 years, actively focusing on communicating with audiences that are interested in sustainability and the transition to a more sustainable future. And like, we talk to folks, that are interested in what we're doing or interested in becoming, working with us. They say that, a lot of agencies talk about being environmental, but they're still, saying your audience is focused on sustainability. So, they wear Birkenstocks and smoke weed and hug trees and do grounding. And, that's not true. We think there's a vested interest for everybody in the world to focus on sustainability and the lifestyle changes that they can make to make a difference. And we focus on getting people interested in that using brands and brand voices.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's no longer like a counterculture thing, like a fringe hippie kind of a thing. Like, no, there's so many people, especially young people, that are just like, yeah, we want to care about our planet and the things that we buy and the people that make the things that we buy, and how we can use the technology that we have to make our world better. Why, instead of making people richer. I think that there is absolutely there's a change that's bubbling, and it's time that businesses take that seriously. And I mean, we've been on this train for a really long time, as you said, but yeah, it's no longer something that you kind of just brush off as oh, those are just the hippies. Yeah.
No, every single person needs to see themselves in a sustainable brand or in a sustainable way. That's how we make real change in the world. That's our belief. That's the foundation of Dandelion. And that's what we bring. That's the expertise we're bringing. And yeah, every day it's really cool. And we get to work with really cool businesses, which is great.
I know. Yeah, there's so much variety, because every system needs to change to be made more sustainably, right? We've been operating in a way that is very unsustainable for the planet and for everyone, really. I think that I love that the most, just on the variety of folks that we get to work with and get to learn about, because everyone's kind of, focusing on their own thing. I love that.
Yeah. Let's talk about our favorite part in our show, which is where we talk about our role in the transition to sustainability. But before we do that, I'm just going to ask the audience, hey guys, thanks for being here. We post a new episode every first and third Wednesday of the month. So hit subscribe and turn on your notifications to hear more inspiring stories from folks that are making a difference in the world. Thanks. Okay.
Nice.
Thanks. So I don't think it's funny. So how would you say our role in changing the world or transition to the sustainable future is?
Oh man. I think our role, aside from what we kind of have already mentioned, I think our biggest kind of impact is just helping ease the mind of the people who are like boots on the ground working on the sustainable solution. Like we're a little bit removed because we are marketers, but like we get to make their life easier so that they can focus on what they're good at, and we can take off everything else off of their plate in terms of how they should be communicating and marketing their business. Those having a digital presence is often, you know, not on the mind of somebody who's creating like, you know, this super innovative, like, you know, water system, or right, like a farmer, you know, they've got better things to be doing. So I just love that we can support them in that. I think that's our biggest contribution.
I agree. And I think for me, the impact in our role is in the communication bits that we're doing, that is in a chance to spread the message of those folks and see the real change that comes from it. We get to help grow businesses. Like so many marketers are focused on growing any business, but we get to grow businesses that make change. And not just grow those businesses, but most of our content is educational, and we really focus on teaching because we think that there's 8 billion people on this planet. Everybody has to do their part or play their role, or, you know, in this transition. And we have the opportunity to educate every day and make lifestyle changes for so many people, for entire audiences. And we do it through our own content too, like through Dandelion content and also through this podcast. This podcast is like, we've been doing it now for a couple of years, and it's one of my favorite parts of what we do because it's how we're spreading the message and we're connecting people and networking. And one day we really want to have like a connection with everybody and find a way to bring all of the environmental guests together, maybe have a little mini conference. I don't know. That's my dream. I think it's really great.
Yeah. I think to touch on what you mentioned, like, I love how we make things so approachable. I feel like sometimes communication around sustainability can feel too scientific, too abstract, too focused on like carbon emissions, and it's so much more than that, and it doesn't need to be complicated. And like that is such, I don't know, I think that we definitely put an effort into things being just inclusive, I don't know, understandable, like just normal language, and I think that helps a lot in educating folks and kind of spreading the message. And that was really kind of the goal with environmental in the first place, was just let's have normal conversations learning about this stuff. As our, like, we're learning, y'all are learning, everybody is. So I love that. Yeah.
And like the whole world is learning about sustainability. It isn't just you, or like, this is our work and we do it every day, and we talk to sustainability professionals every day, and we make sure that we are able to communicate simply with people, but we learn every day. There's new terminology. There's definitely a new acronym out there somewhere that we're missing. We are like on the cutting edge of information all the time with sustainability, and so are the folks we work with and the folks that we interview. So it's really fascinating to see how quickly people innovate and make real difference in the world. And then we get to like help them talk about it and help them spread that message. It's honestly, what we do is really inspiring to me.
Yeah. And we have a lot of big goals for, for the future, right? But one of those is that we want to work more with marketers. I might be releasing information too early, but
You heard it here first, folks.
well, I talked about it in my last video, but yeah, we'll launch a course where we're working directly with marketers who also want to focus on utilizing marketing to grow sustainable businesses. So that's super, super exciting.
Yeah, and not just grow sustainable businesses, well, hopefully that, but that understand our theories and in connection with the way that we operate, which is holistically. We focus a lot on making the user experience simple while keeping high level education and a lot of content and a lot of there's a lot of logistics that goes into what we do, but essentially we just make sure that the user and the customers are always put first and their experience is first. It makes a huge difference when you learn marketing that way versus when you just learn how to do a paid ad or how to write an article or how to send an email.
Yeah.
So we've developed a whole system around that for the past, I don't know, almost more than a decade, because I started working on it in 2012 or 2013. So and we've been iterating it and reiterating it now.
Yeah. Holistic marketing grew out of a need to create kind of within a massive, very separated kind of company organization. And that's where it all started. Was like, how can we connect all of these disconnected different, I guess, what's the word? Like the different groups within a company. I forget that term.
Okay. Department?
Yes, that's the word. Yes, thank you. All the different departments. Thank you. Yes. It's early in the morning here. So.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Even before that, what we brought into the company where we met, I was operating only an online newspaper basically. And it's the same there. But that was like connecting different editorial pieces together that was really fast moving. And then I transitioned into e-commerce, and that's where Courtney and I met. And the need for holistic marketing blossomed there, because you had marketing saying things that sales didn't approve and vice versa. Like sales was going, yo, you just put a sale on a product that we're running out of, and things like that. So we really got comfortable with creating a whole system. And now I don't want to say we perfected that system, because it changes all the time, especially as data changes and the internet changes, but we've gotten really good at migrating it so that it works within any team. And it's really exciting to bring that to life and to be able to teach that in 2024.
Absolutely.
What else are we doing in 2024? We're investing in our podcast. That is very exciting. We want to grow our podcast because we want to, when we give a platform and we give a voice to folks that are making a difference in the world, we want to actually give them a platform, not just have them on our podcast and a few people listen here and there. We want this to be a space where you come and you are heard, and you're not just heard by us or get to know us, but you're heard by people who will be inspired by you. So so we're taking that step into deeper podcast world.
Yeah. Very, very exciting. Just an investment in kind of the production value in general, which we think will hopefully keep people engaged and get more people interested in hearing about the future of sustainability. Yeah. I'm very stoked about that. Yes. If anybody listening has any kind of suggestions or recommendations, we're always open to that sort of feedback as well. So don't hesitate to let us know, comment.
And if you would like to be a podcast guest, please let us know. We're definitely open to chatting with just about anybody who feels like they have a role in the sustainable transition.
Yeah, which is everybody. Like, no matter what.
Talk to us about it. We want to talk to you.
Pretty much. Yeah. Really, no matter your perspective. I mean, yeah, we'd even be open to talking to somebody that like has differing opinions. You know, this is definitely not something that where we want to always kind of keep it an echo chamber. But sustainability and environmentally focused businesses can sort of be like that sometimes. Yeah.
We don't want to build an echo chamber. Like very actively, we haven't had any luck yet getting somebody from the oil and gas industry on, but we have tried. Just because we would like to hear like what their plans are for this transition. It's necessary. We're not at a place where we can say, oh yeah, we don't need to make this transition. We don't need to, right? We all have to come together, which means that we have to work together with fossil fuel companies because they operate throughout the world. They have a massive impact and they have a very large presence and they can make a really big difference politically as well. And we need businesses to step in and say, hey, politicians, we need to make a difference. So we definitely want to make that difference. We definitely want to have those conversations too.
Yeah.
We're also changing our social hours. So every month we have a social hour where we invite business owners to come talk to us about a topic that we identify. And we keep those groups really small because it really is a social hour. It really is like kind of a popcorn roundtable. Like sometimes an AMA, sometimes, everybody has a space to have that conversation. And we're making some changes to those as well.
Yeah. Yes. Though they've definitely been really fun, and we think that they've, the folks that have come have certainly been able to get value because you were able to ask us, any question at all. We just wanted to give it a little bit more structure. So our idea is to kind of change up the social hours. So maybe the first part, maybe not half, but the first part would be a little bit more of kind of a webinar style talk where we give our tips first. And then the second half is a more question and answer session. I think that will give people a more specific kind of prompts for their questions. So it's not there's just more focus, I suppose, on the actual topic of that day. So I think that'll it'll still be kind of the same level of value because you can still pop in and ask us literally anything you'd like. But it's sort of like on top of that, we're also definitely going to give you our specific tips for whatever that topic is. Yeah.
Yeah. The next one is about setting specific dates throughout the year to plan around. And that could be a major holiday. It could be a launch. It could be, whatever it is within a business. So we'll have a 15, 20-minute chat and then open up the floor for questions, kind of. I'm excited to set the stage with that one. We haven't tried that. And I think, a lot of times we leave after everyone leaves afterwards and we're like, that was a fun party. Was it effective for everybody involved? I don't know. So I think we really want to make sure that everyone, again, is heard and has a chance to ask questions that they wouldn't normally ask because we want to create a safe space, but we also want to say, hey, here's some tips generally, just in case you don't feel comfortable yet opening up and asking.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That's me for sure. When I jump into like a webinar group or something with people, like it's hard to kind of pop in when people are already talking about a particular topic or something and you want to pose a question, but it would divert conversation, it can definitely be challenging to kind of get your own personal value from that situation if you don't ever have the opportunity to. So I think that
Yeah.
is a nice kind of melding of webinars that we've done in the past and the social hour structure that we had previously done. It's kind of a hybrid.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like the social hour structures that we do because we don't have to prepare slides, if I'm being honest. Like we I put a lot of, how do I say this? I put a lot of stock in creating things simply and having really simple conversations and ways of communicating. Again, like our main focus when we're thinking about marketing is making sure that it's simple for the user. And I appreciate Courtney because you were just saying like that's you. When you jump into a webinar, you don't necessarily know how to jump in and get your personal value by asking those questions. And that was what really made me excited about this switch in the social hours, is because our whole goal is to make sure that everyone always gets their personal value, whether it's a social hour or you listening to our podcast still, or, someone reading a blog article, whether we always want to make sure, how do we make your experience good? How do we make it simple? And how do we make sure that you walk away feeling like you have value and you got value out of whatever it is that we offered? So I'm really excited about that shift.
Yeah. And that whole perspective was kind of how we developed our goals for next year, is how can we make things more simple? How can we make things more valuable? And how can we make sure it's more kind of like inclusive for any type of learner audience? Yeah.
Yep. And how do we just increase the sustainability message? How do we keep bringing sustainability to the mainstream?
Yeah.
So I think that's...
Yeah, we definitely have some other goals. I mean, we're going to be looking at, speaking of carbon emissions, we are going to be looking more into our own emissions as a business. That has been a little bit logistically challenging in the past. Life's complicated, but
we don't have a physical thing. So it's been,
life's been in flux a little bit in the past couple of years, but we're ready now to kind of tackle that, get the information, so then we have the ability to create a plan forward to becoming potentially carbon neutral or even better. So that's
I think we're close there as well.
Oh, for sure.
We're also looking for a new in-kind partner. We just finished an in-kind. We decided once a year we would do kind of a longer term in-kind relationship with an NGO, especially based in 1% for the planet, because that's a platform that we use and love. So we are looking for that in-kind partner for 2024.
Yeah.
And keep a lookout for a case study on the last one, because that was a really interesting, where we also were able to teach students a little bit about website design for experience. So that was a really cool case study.
That was. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's an exciting goal too. Wow. Yeah. That totally. That kind of just happened where, we're now ready to find another like nonprofit partner to donate our time to.
That was like today we got that check off, and that was our first time doing it. Thanks to Tarrier. That was a fantastic flagship project for our in-kind donations.
Yeah, so big stuff coming. It should be a good year. 2023 was a pretty good year for Dandelion. Yeah, definitely a lot of...
The latter half of 2023 was a good year for Dandelion. The beginning was a little...
I almost don't even remember the first half of the year. I'd have to really look back at like the work that we did, because it was a long time ago. 8 years a long time. Yeah.
We finishing our branding and stepping into new
Mm.
branding, and then we got fire festivaled by somebody that said they were running a festival, and actually, or not a festival, a conference that we did, and we weren't actually, that didn't actually put on. So
That was a part of the year. That was a little bit of drama. If anybody's interested in hearing that drama, let us know.
oh yeah, hit us up. That's high drama. It was a big thing this year. Was
Yeah.
drama.
That was I mean, a lot of people in the environmental kind of sustainable business world in the UK and in Western Europe were affected by this. It was a fake event agency that was putting on a conference all about natural products, and a lot of companies signed up to have booths and to be speakers and paid money, and it is a lie.
Lie. It was supposed to happen 15 days ago. It didn't. So
really huge bummer there. Yeah, but let's not end on that. Like that.
No, because we did that, we got to meet some really incredible businesses that are also not just in it for the money, but in it for growing their sustainable presence. And it was, I really loved meeting them, and then we got to also see like how a conference actually should be run in another space there. So yeah, I think like sometimes we have to learn hard lessons in business. And I will never, here's a good pro tip I learned this year: never sign up for a conference and pay money for it until the venue confirms that the conference is happening. Yeah, always check the venue website. So I think we're taking learnings from that this year. We learn something every year in business, and that was my big learning this year. So always check your other sources.
For sure. Well, definitely. Let's see. So yeah, we have a lot of things going on this year. So stay in touch with Dandelion. We will continue to put these podcasts out every first and third Wednesday. And so next one, we will have a guest ready for you. But yeah, find us at Dandelion Branding on all of the social channels. Stay tuned for all the information about our upcoming course, about our new social hours, and all that big movement.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.